Hello guys and welcome back to my channel for another tips and tricks video. Today we are going to be covering one of the most underrated things in Football Manager, in my opinion, for scoring goals, and that is set pieces. Let's jump into the video. So first things first, I wanted to talk about set pieces in general. It doesn't necessarily just come down to having a good free kick taker, having a good corner taker, and hoping for the best. Whilst that does help, creating your actual in-game tactics like I'm about to show you will save you goals in defense and will score you countless goals in attack. And I'm not just talking about direct free kicks, I'm talking about corners, and I'm also talking about long throws as well. So this is my stats with this team for the last 50 matches. As you can see, we have scored in our last 50 matches, we have scored from 22 corners and we have conceded just the one goal from corners. Free kicks as well. We've scored from 11 free kicks but conceded from 7, so not necessarily the best. May have to take a look at that moving forward. And then from throw-ins, it doesn't count because it looks like they then turn into crosses. I usually play it short. So I will go over all of these things, and you can see from our assist locations, we kind of get a smattering all across the pitch here. So let's jump into our set piece routines. So to start things off, we are going to talk about defending corners. And this is how I have my team set up in my started from the bottom save with Bar City. We've been promoted every season so far, so we've gone from the Vanarama National League South and we are now flying high in the Championship. And I've had these set piece routines worked out for the entire campaign. They work really well for us, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So starting things off, defending corners. So you find this by going here in your tactics screen and then going on to set pieces and then selecting corners. So we're going to start off with defensive first, and how I set my team up. The variants are the same on the left and on the right for corners. I just wanted to talk you guys through what I do, what roles I give my players, and why I do that. So first of all, this is how I have things set up. So I have my back four along here, and I'll go into those roles in a second. Then I have my entire midfield unit with my striker on the far post so he can break, and I also have one of my wingers on the edge of the area looking for that counter attack. So starting off with the defenders then, I start off with one of my fullbacks. In this instance, it is my right back. My right back will be on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he will be told to zonally mark the 6-yard box near post. And I have my strongest centre back in terms of physicality at the near post. So here you can see I've got Menji at the near post. He's got really good jumping reach, good strength, good heading, good positional awareness as well. So he can get up and clear those near post corners. Then on the centre midfield, centre. And then in the centre, I have another centre back in Denim. Good jumping reach, good heading as well. Really nice position. These two aren't the bravest, so you could potentially look at someone braver. But again, the two centre backs are set to mark the 6-yard box zonally. So the first player, Menji, is to mark the 6-yard box near centre, and then the other one is just zonally mark the 6-yard box in the centre. And then the opposite is the other side is the other fullback, which in this instance will be Christian DeMarco. So DeMarco's on this far post, and he has been told to zonally mark the 6-yard box on the far centre. So that is how I have my back four set up. Then next up, we have our midfield unit. So I run two cams. We've got Musselwhite here on go back. We've got the three midfield guys here are all on man mark. So my left midfielder, my central midfielder, and my other cam are all man marking in the centre. And then we have the striker at the far side here on man mark as well. And then I've mentioned that I have someone here on the edge of the penalty area looking to break for a potential counter attack. So this person for me is Bilbao. He's got good acceleration, really nice dribbling stats on Bilbao. So hopefully he can get a good counter attack. He's also got 16 passing and good aggression as well. So if the ball's bouncing around this sort of area of the pitch, he will be on it like a rocket and trying to counter attack for us. As you can see, guys, I have flicked over to the right hand corner for defense, and this is how I set up on both sides. I think it works quite well. I do concede some corners. I mean, who doesn't? But I think for the most part, my centre backs deal with it well. I've also got a goalkeeper who's really good in the aerial reach category. I mean, he's only 6 foot, but he's got 14 for aerial reach and a 13 for command of his area. So he does really well in that aspect. But that is defensively. So let's take a look at our attacking corners. So then, guys, now we are onto the attacking set pieces and the attacking corners. This is what I have here. So I have my corner kick taker. I mean, 12 isn't the best for a corner kick taker. I'd like to have a little bit more, but it's not necessarily about the delivery. It's kind of, for me, about where everyone is positioned. So I have my striker lurking here in and around the near post, able to get headers as well. And then he is set on go forward, Then my left centre back, so for me, the stronger one of the two, is then being told to attack this near post. This works pretty well. I've not played a great deal of games this season, and Menji has scored 2 goals already and got 2 assists from this attacking the near post position. Next up, I have the other centre back, and I tell this person to lurk at the near post. They kind of get in the way, they disrupt anyone who is on the line potentially, get in the goalkeeper's way, allowing the other centre back to really do a job and flick the ball in. I also have my central midfielder down on this side of the penalty area. Obviously, you can drag these around to whatever positions you want. I have him here, and I tell him to attack the far post. This works pretty well. This is where Menji will get his assist because the corner comes in. He then flicks the ball on, and then the midfielder is on hand usually to slot home at the far post. So moving outside of the penalty area, I have my right midfielder here lurking on the edge of the area just in case the ball is cleared. Hopefully he can pick it up and do something with it. Obviously he's got good technique, good passing, good first touch, decent long shots as well at 12. So I have Bilbao sat there looking to see if he can do anything once the ball is cleared, if the ball is cleared. And then next up, I have one of my attacking midfielders here saying to attack the ball from the edge of the area. So he will obviously drive into this space here and disrupt things in the midfield. And the ball does sometimes fall to them. I definitely recommend taking a look at putting someone in here to attack the ball from the edge of the penalty area. And then, guys, I have 3 players staying back. Obviously, as you can see, my right back could go there, but he is my corner kick taker. So please do ignore this position for now. But I have one of my attacking midfielders on stay back, my left back on stay back because he's got 16 acceleration. And I have a winger here just as cover because it does help slightly having these quicker players in these positions. And then, as mentioned as well, guys, I have the exact same on this side of the pitch. In an ideal scenario, I would prefer a left footer to take this corner to swing the ball in. But at the moment, I don't have a really strong left-footed set piece taker. So my right back again with his 12 corners is taking this one. So now, guys, I'm going to talk about throw-ins and the importance of throw-ins. They're not necessarily where I score my goals directly from the throw-in. As you can see here, I've scored none from throw-ins, but also conceded none. I think that's a little bit of a broken stat, but you can see that I've scored 19 goals from crosses and 9 goals from short passes. So you'd like to think that some of these, and the through balls as well at 29, would be made up of that. I think in one of the more recent streamer showdowns, Zealand used the power of the long throw and throw-ins in general within his custom set pieces. I'll leave a card to Zealand's video up in the top corner where he sort of broke down his tactics and what he did to turn that streamer showdown round. It wasn't the most recent one, but it was the one that Zealand won. So this is what I do on attack, guys. I have one throw-in taker. I pull my midfielder to come short. In this instance, I've got Bilbao there because he is one of my most creative midfielders. I have one of my central midfielder, Muzo, there lurking on the outside of the penalty area. I have 2 players back again. I have one centre back just in case the ball is in the air, and then one quicker player, which in this instance is my left midfielder. I have my striker attacking the near post. I have a central midfielder going forward, same with my left back and same with my other centre back. And then I have my other attacking midfielder attacking this far post. Now, sometimes the ball comes in, it goes short, and then the cross comes in. And sometimes if you have a good throw-in taker, it's not letting me click on Wink, is it? Yeah, it's not letting me click on Wink, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't have like a long throw or a long flat throw trait. So I definitely look at this. I mean, the goalkeeper gets in attacking the near post, and then you've got someone attacking the far post as well. And then it allows these three players to just try and get on the end of it. It's either going to be a throw into the goal, into the near post where the striker is able to flick it on, and then one of these guys can hopefully apply the finish, or you know, as happens, either the goalkeeper comes out and claims it, or it gets headed back out, and then Bilbao, my creative player on the wing, is able to do something. Same again on this side, guys. So we have the throw, we have a player coming short to put in a delivery, striker at the near post, three players here going forward. On this instance, I have both centre backs up, and then another midfielder, and then I have the left back and my left midfielder sitting deep with my right midfielder on the edge this time. It is beneficial to have someone who has really good long shots here as well as good anticipation, just so that they can get on the end of any potential clearances. Now we move on to the free kicks here, guys, where I have scored 11 goals this season. Bearing in mind, I will say we've only played 14 games in the league. Scoring 11 goals from free kicks is not to be sniffed at. So we will start off with defending free kicks. This is how I play defensively. We have four players here, man marking. So I've got my central midfielder, one of my cams, another centre back, and the other centre back here. Then I have all of these players in the wall, and I have one player staying forward, which in this instance is one of my central attacking midfielders who can potentially break. Actually, I'm going to change that. Let's change them around. So my staying forward is my right midfielder, and I've now just moved my central attacking midfield into the wall as well. Exactly the same for this side, so I'm just going to switch Bilbao and my central attacking midfielder around. So I've got a 5-man wall, 4 players man marking here, obviously the goalkeeper, and then I am leaving one player forward for a counter attack, and that is the same on both right and left for the direct free kick. When it comes to attacking, guys, I have a decent free kick taker, which is Christian Muzzo, my new gen central midfielder, who is Argentinian. He's got a nice free kick, actually, 14 there on free kicks. He scored a couple direct, but the amount of opportunities that we create from free kicks is pretty good. So I have 4 players in the penalty area. 3 of my defenders, so I have my right back going forward, my right and left centre backs as going forward as well, and then my left midfielder also going forward. I have my central attacking midfielder lurking on the outside of the area, and then my striker on the edge attacking from the edge of the penalty area. Then I have 3 players back, because obviously Muzzo is taking this set piece, and the 3 players at the back are my attacking midfielder, my right midfielder, and my left back. So they are all set at stay back. So that is the direct free kick, and this is direct with a small chance of shot. It's very similar. So we have Muzzo on the free kick again. I've got the 3 players staying back, midfielder, central midfielder, right midfielder, and left back. And then I've sort of just packed the penalty area a little bit more here. So right back, I've got the striker on the near post attacking the near post, my right back, and then my 2 centre backs, and then another central midfielder here as going forward, and then I have my left midfielder attacking the far post. I have the same here for both left and right. It works pretty well, actually. We score a decent amount from free kicks. It does help, obviously, having a good free kick taker, and I have a really good technical player in Muzzo. He's improving very, very nicely, I must admit. But it's not the be all and end all. It's kind of about where you put your players in the best chance of making things happen. Now we move on to the indirect free kicks. I've gone for the wide one first. Again, we've got a player taking the free kick. Usually this is a winger. For me, I've usually set my right midfielder to take this. I have a central attacking midfielder lurking on the edge. The row of 4 again on go forward. And then the striker attacking the near post. And again, another player attacking the far post. When it's an indirect free kick from a wide position, I only have the 2 players back. So again, I've got my left back here, who's got pretty good acceleration. And then I have a central attacking midfielder as well, because he is pretty good on teamwork and the acceleration and decision making. He's not necessarily the best tackler, but he can put himself in a good position to make an interception. Again, same for the left and the right, just repeat what you've got here. So when the free kick's over this side, you have the striker attacking this near post, you have someone attacking the far post, and then you have the line of 4 here on go forward. And finally guys, it is the indirect free kick deep. Much the same. I've got Muzzo on these free kicks, a really nice player, as I've mentioned. I've got the 3 players here that are staying back, and then much the same as previous. I've got a striker attacking the near post, I've got a left midfielder attacking the far post, and this line of 4 players here going forward, attacking the ball as much as they can. But I've not got anyone on the edge of the penalty area for this specific free kick setup. So there you have it guys, I have talked you through my set pieces. As you can see from the analysis of my last 50 games, we get a decent amount of assists through corners and free kicks, and obviously the crosses. I don't play a cross heavy game. My centre forward's not a towering centre forward who scores loads of headers, so I'm confident a lot of these crosses come from throw-ins, but I'm not scoring the directly from a throw-in, if you get what I mean. So I definitely recommend taking a look at set pieces. They're such a vital thing for you guys to consider, and I would definitely recommend taking a look at all of this. So thank you very much for watching today's video guys on set pieces. It's been a good one to put together, actually taking a look at the analysis of how we've actually scored our own goals in my started from the bottom save. If you have liked the video and found it useful, don't forget to give it a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more regular Football Manager content. Got an exciting time coming up soon. I've got a new PC about to be built. It's all just down there. Really looking forward to that, and then we can hopefully look at going live at some stage soon. That is it for today guys, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode of Started from the Bottom. See you soon.